Hello everyone, Lisa here with Upside Down Pilates and Nourishment, where I help women eliminate joint pain so they can get back to living the life that they love. And today we are going to make some kefir and kefir whey. So most people wonder what's the difference between kefir and yogurt. We're going to make ours out of milk. The difference basically is that the kefir actually has good, not only good bacteria, but also good yeasts. And for people with joint pain, one of the big culprits is actually yeast. That's one of an overgrowth of some sort of a bad yeast like candida. Really gets in and can cause a lot of joint pain. Now that can be the end result of things like heavy metal toxicity, so there can be a deeper root to that, but it ends up in a yeast overgrowth, and I can go into that in a different video at another time. But we're making kefir, and then we're also going to make kefir whey, and then I'm going to teach you how to titrate that into your diet so you don't have a lot of die-off, all right? So this is a finished jar of kefir that I made a couple days ago. And it's so easy. I mean, it's literally one of the most easy things you've ever done. So we're going to do one with reusing an old kefir that you've already made, and then we're going to use one with the kefir starter culture. So there's a lot of different starter cultures. This is from Body Ecology. I love these. And this one is from Cultures for Health. I love these. We're going to just use one of these today. Everything that you are going to do, you can find out in the directions. So it'll have the directions inside, but you can learn about it today. So one of the first things you're going to do is get your scissors and open it up. Now, there are kefir grains. Those are a little more complicated. We're going to use the kefir starter culture that is a powdered starter culture. So I do recommend starting with that. With the kefir grains, you kind of have to keep feeding them, and it's a bit of a process. So start with your kefir powder. And my little cat has just popped up where I have the camera at. His name's Shinobi. He might say hi to you. Some of you may have seen him in some of the other workouts that we did last year. Okay, now he's shaking the camera. All right, so you're going to take, you never know what's going to happen. It's live. You're going to take your kefir starter culture and bop it in there. And then what we're going to do is, this is a nice little funnel. I love these little funnels, canning funnels. They really help. You have to warm up your milk. I recommend if you're using milk, if you can get raw milk, do that. It's a different process if you're using raw milk. This is if you're using pasteurized milk. I am using an A2 milk, all right? So if you can get a certified organic A2 milk, that's what you want to do. And then you want to warm your milk up to about 180 degrees. And then you're going to let it cool down. And you want it to cool down to about 90, 91, 92 degrees, okay? So there's a car going by. 90, 91, 92 degrees is what you want to cool it down to. Then you want to get yourself a thermometer. I love this thermometer. And you just pop it in and make sure before you use it that it's cooled down to like 90, 91, 92. And I think this guy, yeah, this is just a little over 90. I made it earlier today for us. And then it's really easy. You just take the milk and you're going to pour a little bit in. And then stir it around so that it'll dissolve. Now, at this point, you could add some probiotics. So I will often add 2 Megaspore and 2 H258 into this to give me a little bit more probiotic powder. You don't have to, and I'm not going to show that today. Then after you stir it around a bit, you're just going to Pour until there's about 2 inches of space. So I go to about right there. And then you stir it around to make sure it gets all nice and good in there. And then, see how easy that was? You take your lid. You can use the wide mouth or the regular mouth. I like the wide mouth better, but you can use either. And there you go. So then you're going to let it sit for 24 to 36 hours. We want it to stay at least 24 hours because when you ferment it that long, it gets lots of good bacteria and good yeasts, but it also breaks down the casein and the lactose. So then a lot of people who are going through a program with me that have joint pain or other things going on, they'll have problems with casein or lactose. This breaks it down so it makes that less of a problem, okay? And then when it's done in 24 to 36 hours, so the longer you go, the more powerful it gets, and it also gets more tart. So you can decide how long you want to go. I just do it about 24 hours because I like just a little bit of the sweetness in it, but you can go much longer if you want. It turns to this, all right? So I'm going to undo this one, and then we'll use, when you're done at the end or even at the beginning, you just take some of this out and you put it into your next. You can do this about 7 times per starter culture. So you're like, oh, it's expensive to keep getting those. Well, let's say you get a 6-pack, you're going to get about 42 quarts of yogurt out of there. So, kefir out of there. So it should be pretty good. All right, so I'm going to do, you can use a 1/4 cup to 6 tablespoons for your batch that you're going to do, reusing the one that you already did. So it looks like this. And this kefir that I make is much thicker. Sometimes when you get into the store, it's very runny, but mine's very thick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So you use 6 of those. And then, like before, you could put some more probiotics in there if you wanted or not. And we're just going to fill it up a little bit. I'm going to stir it around a little bit, just like the other one. Just to let it dissolve. And we're going to put some more milk in there. Fill it all that way up, and that's plenty. Sometimes there's a little milk left over. You can try fill it up in there. I don't like to get it too cold though. It does still ferment, but I just stop. And then you put the seal on. So then I have a little cupboard that I put my ferments in, and I just leave them in there. So again, 24 to 36 hours. And then it's going to come out like this. All right, I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way. Push it over here. Because now I'm going to show you how to take it when it's done and turn it into whey. I think I need this. And these are settings. So these over. Okay, so whey is super, super easy. Everyone thinks these things are hard. They're not. They're super easy. So all you need is a nut bag. All right, so like a nut milk bag. You can also use cheesecloth, like 2 pieces of cheesecloth inside of a strainer if you have that at home. I find this easy, and then it's always right there for me, and the cheesecloth kind of falls apart a little bit, and this I can just use over and over again. What you're going to do basically is pour your kefir in the bag and then hang it and let it drip into a bowl. That's all you have to do. But if you don't have anywhere to hang it really, I just want to show you this. I'm not going to do it this way because I have hooks. But you can very easily put it on like one of your handles on your door if you have one of these. And then you might have to wrap it around a couple times, but then it'll drip down just like that, right? We're just going to do it like this. Put it in here. Open this up. And this is the one I just used for the other one. And then you'll pull right in there. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. And you can do the whole quart. You can do part of the quart. Really, you can do whatever. That's Shinobi talking to us. Okay. And then you can go all the way down to the end. I'm just going to leave it at that right now because I want to show you guys something else. And then you're just going to pull this up here. He's running around like crazy. What a little funny guy. Make it tight. And then you're going to pull it up. And you'll start to see some dripping. So I like to set it up. I have a hook over there that I'm going to do later. But I like to set it up so it's kind of in a triangle. And this little part's coming down. And then it starts to drip. And it really pretty quickly starts to be a lot of whey. Okay. All right. So I recommend using milk for your Kefir Whey because you'll get more kefir or more whey out of it. In the beginning, when we're introducing kefir, to have kefir though, we use kefir made from cream. So using kefir made from cream, it's easier to digest when you first are introducing dairy into your system. There's a whole dairy introduction diet for people who have joint pain following the GAPS nutritional protocol that at some point I can go through. If that interests you, let me know in the comments. But first we introduce kefir cream or fermented cream. Then you do that before you go into actually using the milk. So this would be just for the whey. Now you can, when you're introducing kefir into your diet, you want to start 1 teaspoon at a time and see if you have any reactions. Remember, we talked about die-off, and anytime you're getting into a fermented food, there's going to be some die-off. So start with 1 teaspoon only and see how you do. Same with the whey. Start with 1 teaspoon of whey. You can put 1 teaspoon of whey in a little cup and then 1 teaspoon of water and mix it together and drink it. Ideally, with the whey, you're going to build up to 4 ounces of whey and 4 ounces of water at least once a day. It's really yummy. You can have more than that, but slowly build up to that much. And then with the kefir, I have about, oh my gosh, at least a cup a day. I have about a half cup in the morning and half cup at night. And I still do kefir cream just because I like it. I know you're thinking, what do I do with the stuff that's left over? Well, you can use it like cream cheese. It's really delicious. And you can actually put it, I really like it on salmon. You can put it on other meats, or you can just drop it in your soups. Like if you're doing the GAPS nutritional protocol, drop it in your soups if you're at a point that you can eat the curds separated from the whey and things like that. So you eat it. So when your whey is all dripped out, you can put it in a container and cover it up. And same thing with the curds. You put it in a separate container and cover it up, and then just store it in the fridge. The other thing that we talked about is using whey for probiotic enemas or probiotic implants. So this is the whey that you would use, and you use a tablespoon per cup. So if you're doing a 3-cup enema, then you would do 3 tablespoons. Or if you're going to do a 1-cup retention enema, you would use 1 tablespoon. And you can build up from there if you want, but that's about a tablespoon per cup will get you started. I think that's all I have for you today. All right, questions, comments, concerns, please put them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to make sure that you get notification when we're going on. So we have our workout 1 p.m. on Thursdays, and then some sort of nutritional, either cooking or a cleansing process or information on all sorts of different health things on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Don't forget, you can download information about my Joint Pain Eliminator program. You can download my Ultimate Joint Pain Eliminator Starter Guide. All those links are in the description, and there's even a way to book a call if you're interested in working with me. It's all right down there in the description, and we can see if we might work well together in helping you get rid of some of your health complaints like joint pain, because that's the one that's the real big problem in our world right now. So thank you. I love you all. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, yes, I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. I think I got it all in there. All right. You guys have a really great day, and I will see you next week. Aloha.